It's go time, baby. We're live. Comic Book Streamland. What's doing? It's just you and me tonight, kid.
Terrible.
What do you mean terrible?
Horrible planning, mismanagement, all over the place.
There's no mismanagement. There's no horrible planning. It's just me and my man Calderon tonight. It's JayDee and JayDee. It's double J. All right? It's a double J night. It's Friday night. People probably went out to go see Thunderbolts right now. All right? And let them have fun. Let them enjoy. Yes, no, maybe so.
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I'm gonna catch it on Monday. So.
Oh yeah. Okay. Cool. By yourself or with the missus?
No. What's funny is Daphne will be in Baltimore. She's visiting her sister for a few days.
Oh, okay.
And then my friend Steve, we're gonna go catch it.
Okay. All right. Oh, wait a second. Hold on a second. The missus is traveling without a convention around.
Yeah. She's helping out her sister.
That's unheard of. That's unheard of.
She's
joking.
She's helping out her sister, bro.
Good. Oh, wait, is this the same sister who's been chiming in and loving to see you and me dispute every night on every week on a live stream?
Pretty much. Yeah. That's my sister-in-law. That's Lorraine.
Very good. Okay, I'm glad. You know, at least somebody's having fun watching you and me bust each other's chops. Right?
True.
So, what happened to you? Don't tell me we lost you already. Get it? Yeah?
No.
Yeah. So, all right, listen, we'll go right into the topic for tonight.
There's a topic for tonight?
Yeah. You think I'm a half-ass, baby. I'm a full ass. I mean, I'm a full professional.
You had it right the second time.
There is a topic for tonight. And tonight's topic is, all right, with mainstream comics, we know there's a golden age, we know there's a silver age, we know there's a bronze age, even a modern age. Can those same ages be defined for independent comic books?
Yeah. I mean, there's probably like, you know, I was going to be mean.
What do you mean you're going to be mean?
I was like, there's the toilet age, the shit age, and the diarrhea age.
No, there's not. I see it more as like, I see more the fanzine age, right? When they were doing their own ash cans, right? The small little. I mean, then there's the black and white boom.
Believe it or not, that age is coming back.
Which one? The fanzine age or the black and white boom?
The fanzine age.
I don't think that ever died, but I mean, in my opinion, it started with that era, right? And then we got, what would we call it, the image age? Or, I mean, the 90s. What would you call the 90s?
Oh, that's the extreme age.
Is it the extreme age?
Yeah, I would call it the extreme age.
I mean, you had a ton of indie
books. The WWE or F, depending what it was back then. Between that and image, it was the extreme age.
It'd be the extreme age. Okay.
Yeah.
And what are we in now? The crowdfunding age or no?
Definitely.
Okay.
Maybe campaign age, something like that.
Campaign age. Do you think this is now like a, I don't know, a big shot in the arm? Do you think like indie comics are getting mainstream sales? No. Why not?
No. There's just no reach. I mean, you got to remember. I mean, you're talking about it without really going further back than Image. Right? Like we go back into the 80s. And when I say the 80s, I'm talking about 81, 82, even as far back as 79, 78.
But wouldn't that be like the fanzine age or no?
No.
Why not?
No. Because you had Pacific Comics, Comico, Eclipse, First Comics. You had all these different companies. Comico, when they first started, they were real small, but then they started doing things differently. And they came out with things like Elemental and Mage and Justice Machine and so on and so forth. Okay. Elemental's first issue was selling 80,000 copies right out the gate. And we're talking about 82. Okay.
Isn't that when Turtles came out in 83, 84?
What? Elementals?
No, Turtles.
Turtles around 86, 85, 86.
But they were part of the black and white age, right? They were part of the
black and white boom. They were the ones that caused that entire thing.
Right.
But you got to remember, there were other things going on, even, before that. I mean, there was, like I said, there were other books, there were other companies. when Pacific Comics came out, they were selling 50, 60, 70, 80, 100,000 copies. Where Jack Kirby came out with Captain Victory. Is it? Yeah, it's Captain Victory.
Yeah, I thought that was part of Topps.
Well, Topps eventually picked it up. That was later. That was in the 90s. They did a version of it, but the original version came out through Pacific Comics, and that was in the early 80s. So I mean, you're talking about that Star Slayer. I mean, they had a whole bunch of stuff, and I mean, all these Silver Heels. I mean, all these crazy titles. And these books were selling well. I don't know exactly what happened with their business model, but it kind of collapsed in on them. But you know,
they were selling well because it was the birth of the direct market, wasn't it?
But you know, the birth of anything. I mean, like, you know, I don't want to say that's why they were selling well. You know what I mean?
I mean, it was new. They weren't in newsstands.
No, they started in head shops, right? That's where the underground comics started.
Okay.
Then it started branching out, and people started actually opening actual comic book stores.
Like, I don't even remember seeing the Dell or the Gold Key books on newsstands.
No, that was actually a little bit before my time. So
that was during the EC era, right?
No, Dell and that stuff was like in the 70s.
Weren't they doing like the Martians from like
EC was like in the 50s. 50s.
EC was in the 50s, but when was Dell Gold Key?
I believe those would be like 60s, 70s, going maybe a little early in the early 80s, but you know.
When they were getting those nice painted covers, right?
Yeah. You're talking about like Solar and Magnus Robot Fighter, those books.
Right. Before the Valiant stuff.
Yeah, long before the Valiant stuff, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Those even Turok came out during that time, didn't it?
I have no idea. That couldn't tell you. Maybe.
I believe so, dude. Yeah. I believe Turok Dinosaur Hunter came out during that because that was not an original concept over in Valiant.
Right. I couldn't tell you. I mean, it was, to be honest, I wasn't a big fan. What's funny is from the original stuff from Valiant, the stuff I really liked was Archer and Armstrong, when it was Jim Shooter and Barry Windsor Smith.
Okay.
That was probably the only one I picked up religiously, and then everything else, like I wasn't into XO or what is that? Ninjak.
I wasn't into Ninjak.
Although I dug Joe Quesada's artwork.
Yeah, it wasn't enough to do it for me for the series. I was more into XO Man of War. I was into Rye before they canceled it and gave us Bloodshot. Bloodshot didn't do it for me. Bloodshot was just Punisher, juiced up for me.
Right? It was a Punisher with Wolverine powers, right?
Nah, he was a super soldier kind of deal.
Okay, I thought he could like
regenerate the nanites, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But it's like, all right, that was part of the Image era, wouldn't it?
Yeah, sure. Well, like I said, Extreme. That was part of the Extreme era.
Why Extreme over Image?
Because Image isn't everything, bro.
Right, but Extreme was like a sub thing of Image.
No, because you had the WWE.
Yeah, but they weren't really comic books. They were coming out through Chaos.
They just might as well, dude. The way you see people talk about comics and wrestling, it's so close to one another. It's not even funny.
Bro, I don't even remember that merger though, because I was into both at that time.
Yeah, I'm not talking about a merger. It was a feeling of the time.
Okay.
You understand? Well, I don't think it was like there was a direct crossover, although we did get an Ultimate Warrior comic for like that was reprinted about 40 times, even though he said it was only the first printing.
Well, there was an Ultimate Warrior comic. There was a Undertaker comic. There was a Kevin Nash comic. There was a Stone Cold comic.
I think those came out a little later. I know the Ultimate Warrior was like I don't know if it was the first one, but I think it came out a little bit on the earlier part.
He tried coming out on his own. I do remember that.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I mean, I'm pretty sure you could find those books for like $10 or something. He printed a lot of them.
I don't even think they're $10.
Yeah, I mean, you might find them at dollar boxes. It wouldn't surprise me. Yeah.
Do you do a lot of dollar bin shopping or no?
Of course.
Yeah, why?
Because that's where the good books are at.
Okay.
You know, I mean, all of the really good books, you know, I'll pick them up in hardcover trades or whatever. But the really obscure stuff, you're only gonna find them in dollar bins. You know.
Yeah, I've been finding quite a few of the American flag stuff in the dollar bins. Yeah. And god damn, if that wasn't good stuff, dude.
Howard Chaykin, man, well ahead of his time.
Oh my god, bro. I'd rather take a Howard Chaykin drawn comic than a Neil Adams drawn comic.
Depends on the comic.
You know? Okay. When Neil had continuity, came out during that time period too.
Yeah.
Right? Were you into them?
Yeah.
Really? Right? It was Nighthawk, Cyber-Rad. What else?
Megalith, Silver Streak and Armor, Toy Boy, Megalith.
No, after Megalith. Right. I remember Megalith.
Armor.
I remember that one.
Yep.
I remember
that. Toy Boy. Some dude named Crazy. I don't even remember that one.
I don't remember that
either. Crazy Man, something like that. It was something.
I remember towards the end he tried pushing something called Valeria the She-Bat.
Yep. There's Valeria. Nighthawk.
Nighthawk, I remember. What's up, Andrew? How you doing, bud?
Yeah, how you doing, Andrew? Thank you.
Yeah, but then they phased out, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the problem: is like those books always looked great,
right?
I've said this before. They looked great, but they were never great to read. That was the biggest problem with them. They didn't focus on the writing. They focused primarily and solely on the art, and the artwork was always great.
Right.
So.
Right, but it wasn't great enough to carry it the same way the Image stuff was, because the writing wasn't great at the beginning.
Yeah, right? But those guys, right? But that was at the beginning, though. But those guys shifted gears so fast, it wasn't even funny. The second they could get their fangs into Alan Moore, they were like, "Chung, let's get that guy in here," and they got him in there.
You remember Image 2.0, right? It had Larry Stroman, it had Mike Grell, it had Sam Keith, right? It had Keith Giffen, right? And then those books got yanked pretty quickly.
Right, because none of them were keeping up with their schedules. Right? I think
Right.
Pitt was probably one of the few that put out the most books, and even then he fell behind.
All right.
Tribe. I enjoyed the first couple of issues of Tribe, but like I was like, where's the rest of this?
Where's the rest of it? Right.
It's like, where's the rest of this? What's the one Keith Giffen did? Trencher? He did Trencher.
I barely remember Trencher.
Yeah, just I mean, it's Keith Giffen. It was like bizarre looking, crazy. But yeah, I barely remember it.
So was the most consistent from that era the Sam Keith Max books?
Probably.
All right.
Yeah, probably.
I never saw the appeal on Max, dude. It didn't do it for me.
I mean, it's one of those things. A little surreal, it's a little weird.
Right.
But it was kind of like, I guess, like Sam Keith. That's the way he was. He was a little surreal. It's a little weird.
But during that time, people were forgetting like Harris Comics was out also.
Harris, Vampirella.
Harris and Vampirella, right?
Vampirella, Adam Hughes covers with what's this dude? I forgot he was doing any interiors. It wasn't King. Yeah, I'm forgetting the guy's name.
Right? You had Ryan Polito's first time with the Chaos. Was it Chaos? No. Yeah, it was Chaos Comics.
Yeah, but
right.
What's funny is Polito was about the time when I came out, around 91, 92.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Because I mean, I remember him. Funny story. I was at the show. We had Revelations, which was our first book, and we were selling it. Obviously, there's another creator we knew, and he was trying to swap books. Like one of the things we all did back in the day, we swapped books.
Right.
And he was complaining. The other creator was complaining to me that Polito wouldn't swap books with him because he felt like your book is black and white, my book is full color. It wasn't an even exchange of commodities, I guess.
Right.
So he was a little upset at that. And I was just like, well, I don't know what to tell you. You can just pull $3 out of your pocket and buy his book.
But that was the 90s, right?
And the thing is, he swapped books with me. And my book was black and white, so so I don't know.
Was it good?
It was like evil. It was Evil Ernie from back in the day. If you enjoyed that sort of thing,
Yeah.
That's just the thing. If you enjoyed that sort of, you enjoyed that type of rock and roll horror type of thing, Rob Zombie, that sort of thing, But it was definitely a thing if you enjoyed it. Look, here's something I haven't spoken about. Look, that's Furlough number 198. And it features Tall Tales.
Okay.
So
when did that come out?
A couple of weeks ago.
I don't think that came out, a while back, bro. I thought you were diving through the old stuff of your own.
That's the thing, though. What's old is new. That story is from '92.
Okay.
You understand? What's old is new.
Like your Tenchi Muyo stuff that's being released right now.
Muyo campaign, exactly. That what's old is new.
Last I checked, that was about over $83,000.
So over 94.
Get out of here, bro.
Yep, over 94, 950 backers.
Wow, that's a lot of money in shipping.
I mean, they'll suss it out. I'm sure there's enough cheddar there to go around.
You're close to $7,000 in shipping right there.
Probably.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Here we go. Now, did you buy me a copy? Baby, the author, his wife. We'll probably get one, on the arm. I'm sorry. Hopefully I didn't say that out loud. No, what do you mean now? This is the missus. She's your wife's biggest fan. You gotta support the audience.
Listen,
come on, kid.
Listen, Daphne would be lucky she gets a copy. And she only lettered the book.
She only lettered the book.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad you were part of a campaign that's hitting that high, bro. Well deserved, right? And well deserved for a book that came out over 20 years ago?
27?
Who you, Polito?
27 years ago.
And they got a plug on Screen Rant. Very nice.
Screen Rant, CBR.
Oh, get out of here.
Yep.
Get out of here, dude.
Yeah. CBR. There was a couple other places they got a couple plugs on. So,
So now what? How do you capitalize on that?
Well, there are plans, but nothing I'm willing to discuss in public.
Right.
Nothing I'm willing to discuss in public. So it's just like, it's all wait and see, because we have to see, we got to see where the campaign ends at. We still got 17 days. Now it's a matter of trying to see if we can get it over 100.
Right.
Which I think it'll do. We got 17 days.
I hope, dude.
My thing is getting it over 100 and getting over 1,000 backers. That'd be nice.
Be real nice, dude. Be real nice. Be real nice because you're not the one doing the packing and the shipping on something like that.
No, but I got to sign probably 700 books though.
Okay, so you got to sign 700 bucks.
Yeah,
good.
Matthew, my boy, has to do probably about 100 remarks.
Okay.
And sign 700 books too. So.
Are you gonna make an event out of it and go down to South Carolina when these guys are at? And
they're coming up to us.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Are they staying with you guys?
I'll probably have to put them up. So it's not, just to spare me expensive renting a hotel out here, because you know how that is.
I know.
I mean, we got the spare bedrooms.
Okay, good. Yeah. That's gonna be like a 11-hour drive, 12-hour drive for them.
Yeah, probably. It's gonna be a long haul.
I know.
I've done it. A lot of books. I hope they have a big van.
Dude, I gotta ask you a favor.
What?
Ask them to stop at Buc-ee's for me, bro. They know.
I don't even know what that is, but okay.
You don't know what Buc-ee's is?
No. Well, I've heard of it. I know some kind of chain, gas station, Disneyland.
All right, you know what Wawa or you know what 7-Eleven is, right?
Of course.
Okay. Imagine if 7-Eleven was themed out like a Disney store.
Right.
But the size of a standalone Sears or J.C. Penney's. All right,
Okay.
with over 100 gas pumps in there, and lit up like a baseball stadium at 3 a.m. So, like, for those people who love to do cross country trips for conventions and are on a budget, I always recommend, if you can, bypass that first night of sleeping at a hotel and just pull over in the parking lot of a Buc-ee's. You're going to be safe. You're going to have fresh food at 3 o'clock in the morning, and you're going to have the cheapest gas you find anywhere on the route. Right? Cool. Oh, here we go. See, how do you not know when the missus chimes in? They're literally famous for their clean bathrooms. Damn right, Daphne. You know, all right, so you go there, and at every pump, they tell you how much they pay people. To clean their bathrooms, they're paying $26 an hour with a 15% overnight differential. That's how serious they take it. All right? You're earning a salary for keeping those places clean. Buc-ee's is the best in the beef jerky. Wow. Yes. Yes, Daphne, the best bathroom. Yes, dude. Bro, I mean, you can eat in these bathrooms. It's going to sound scary. You can. You can.
Well, it's not scary. It's gross, but yeah.
No, it's not gross. Bro, when you go into the bathroom, all right, you got to go through a corridor, and they have all of these different paintings. You're like, oh, this is beautiful. They're keeping this place nice. You know, they have art behind them. Dude, they're selling originals. Originals. They're not just there for decoration. They're selling them a couple $100, bro. Oh my gosh. Here we go. Here. I really wish he told me that. I really wish he told me that. Oh my God, I missed you, dude. I love you, kid. I really wish you told me that.
He's now representing Stoppable Comics.
I just blocked you as a fake account, man.
That's funny.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. All right, I gotta fix that. Okay, here we go. I need to get sponsored by Buc-ee's. Damn right. Well, I don't know if I can, right? And we have other reasons why. And on the route plan for a new road trip. Okay, Lorraine, here we go. You said she's in DC, right? DC?
Who?
She's in Baltimore. Lorraine.
Baltimore, yeah.
Baltimore. All right, she's in the DMV area. All right. Here's how popular Buc-ee's is. For those of you who are driving on the 95, the East Coast corridor, right? North and south. The closest Buc-ee's to New York is in South Carolina. But when you are coming towards New York on the Jersey Turnpike, there's a big sign by exit 7A that says Buc-ee's, 500 miles, you turn the other way. All right, dude, they are taking out ads 500 miles.
Yeah, that's like
closest location.
I'm sure you've driven by south of the border. It's the same thing.
I'm going to skip south of the border. South of the border is a mini Coney Island.
I know. I've been there.
Right.
I've been there. Yeah.
But I would rather make the stop in Buc-ee's. Scary sleeping in a car surrounded by semis. You know what? You're not sleeping in the semi section. They got separate car parking from the semis. And I'm telling you, it is lit up and still packed at 3 a.m. Every Buc-ee's has a big brass statue of the Buc-ee's beaver in front. And there are people taking pictures of it like they're walking up to Walt and Mickey at Disneyland, bro. I mean, they have to make these stops. So for those of you on a convention budget, gas is always going to be cheap at Buc-ee's. Food is always going to be fresh at Buc-ee's. And you can buy snacks that you can last munch down on at the con at Buc-ee's. I highly recommend Buc-ee's. You should go out of your way on a cross-country trip to a con just to hit a Buc-ee's stop.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm sure, but the only place we go out of our way for whenever we go to a con is Cracker Barrel.
Cracker Barrel. My wife loves Cracker Barrel. I'm passing on it, bro.
Really? You don't like
I can't.
Why?
Can't do Cracker Barrel. I can't do Golden Corral. Can't.
Haven't. Well, I mean, I've been to a Golden Corral, but I mean,
Yeah.
I like Cracker Barrel.
I'd rather Buc-ee's. I'd rather Buc-ee's. Bro, you can get fresh brisket on a biscuit at 3 a.m., bro. Come on, man. That's tops, kid. That's tops, bro. You know, you can get jalapeno cheddar rolls baked fresh at the location. You're not getting that at a 7-Eleven. You're getting them the warmer. You know, and bro, this is fresh coming right out the oven. Money in the bank, kid. Buc-ee's all day, every day. I'd love to see him at a con. So, anyways, if these guys are coming up from South Carolina,
tell us about the Buc-ee's view. What do you want from a Buc-ee's,
bro? I want their latest shirts, the best T-shirts I've ever worn, softest, smoothest, most comfortable T-shirts are coming from Buc-ee's.
Gotcha. Okay. I mean, I can ask them because they're probably. I mean, I'm sure they would know it.
Yeah. Well, there's only one another in South Carolina, and it is on the 95. I think 3 or 4 exits from the border to North Carolina.
Okay. Well,
excuse me. They got it. They would hit the Buc-ee's before they hit south of the border, and then they cross the border.
Right. All right. Well, I mean, if it's in their way and it's not too,
it's in their way. I'm joking.
It's in their way and it's not too big of an inconvenience.
No one should ever go to a Golden Corral. You're gonna pass on Golden Corral. You're gonna pass on a Golden Corral when you're doing a convention because you don't want to get sick during the con. You ever got messed up during a convention, dude?
No.
Really?
Yep. No.
Lucky devil.
Not during a show. After a show, I've gotten sick, but Concord, that sort of thing.
Concord, yeah. No, I did Puerto Rico Comic Con with my cousin, who were there, and he saw banana nut ice cream on the menu, and he went for it. He was like, "It's here, you got to go for it." Right? All night, and the next day, he had explosive diarrhea. So I'm working the convention by myself, and he has the balls to tell me, "You should know I'm lactose intolerant. Why'd you let me eat it?" I'm like, fucking moron. Moron. You know, I mean, but then I got drunk one night at a con, and I could not function the next day. Cracker Barrel is a convention tradition. Come on.
Yep. That's a convention tradition for us. That's what we do.
Okay. From only the finest sweatshops. Damn right. Only the finest sweatshops. All right. I mean, where's the furthest you ever gone for a con?
California. You
flew there?
Of course.
Yeah. Okay.
San Diego Comic Con.
Yeah.
Daphne and I and a few other friends, we did that for like 8 years running.
Yeah.
Every year for like 8 years.
Yeah.
Fun show. The one thing it gave us was it gave us focus, right? Because that was the show that we went to every year, and we had to have something new for it, right? Because that was one of the conditions that they had of getting a table in the small press area. You had to have something new that you created that year, and you had to submit it.
Right. New York Comic Con does that also. So I get it. I think it's a good idea.
What's a good idea?
It's making sure that the people who are attending have new product.
We got Kickstarter for that now, though.
Right, but
now I try to have new product every month or every other month.
Good. Yeah. I've got 3 projects coming my way this year. So all right, we were a little late to the table, but we're going to finish up the year strong. Hopefully, printing holds up. Have you ever reached out to Kingery again after we had our debacle?
No. Yeah, no reason to. I'm printing POD right now because it makes the most financial sense. Kingery is only good if you're going to print volume.
Right.
And I mean, you know how we did. We did 9 books. We did 27,000 copies. And that's why we got the rate we got. And I mean, even today, I'm sure we can get a similar rate from them. It might even be cheaper depending on what paper prices are at right now.
But we'd have to come up with that many units. We'd have to come up with that big of an order. How?
Right. That's why it's cheaper to just do it in China, where you could do. And the thing is, there were 3,000 units. China, you can get 500 units, 1,000 units.
Right, 500 units for $387 without shipping.
Right, and shipping will be another $300.
Okay.
On that.
Okay.
So $320.
You're still looking at 68 cents a unit.
Right. Which is for 500 units.
Amazing.
Right. I mean,
amazing.
Right, and that's five boxes.
Right.
As opposed to 30.
Yeah. Not even some of them pack 200 a box.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're looking at 2.5 boxes, but it's enough that it's not taking up too much space in your storage, right? And it's something you can move in 2 years.
Yes, that's definitely a number you can move.
Right. The problem is when you're working finances out, 500 times $5 a pop, that's only $2,500.
Right.
With the amount of money that we're putting into production, we're really not recouping much. We're doing that to break even, and we know that. Yet you've got a lot of indie guys who are printing out 50, 100 pre-OD copies, and they're nowhere near breaking even.
Well, the different ways to go about it. I mean, you got to remember, you can do metal covers, you can do foil stamp covers, or just foil covers or whatever. On those you tend to charge a bit more for.
Right, about $25 a pop when you're paying $9 to $10 a unit.
Right. Okay. So you can cover some of your margin there. But it just depends what you're going to do. I mean, it's always a thing, and is the long game, right?
But even if you sell 100 metal covers times $25,
I sell my metal covers at 60.
You sell them at 60?
Yeah.
The fuck are you smoking?
Nothing. But that's what I sell them at.
And how many are you moving at 60?
Not many. But when I move like 6 at a time. Because I'm selling them in sets of 6. And it's $360 for that set.
A clip. Okay.
Plus another $25 for shipping.
Right, because they're heavy.
Right.
Can we get away with that? No, you can't get away with that as media mail.
No.
At that point.
Well, you got to remember, now they have the ground service, so it's only
ground, right? There's no media.
Yeah, it's a couple bucks more expensive.
They're phasing that out. Right.
Yeah. Well, they're phasing out media mail?
What's up?
They're phasing out media?
Yeah, that's going to be going away.
Well, I mean, ever since they came out with the ground thing, we stopped using media mail. Anyway,
yeah.
So.
And it's people play a dangerous game when it comes to media mail, bro. They really do, right? They don't think they're keeping track of it, but they're keeping track of it. They're putting that down, right? This address sent out X amount of units, media mail that were not falling under the conditions, and they build up a case.
Yeah.
Right. And there's media mail can't get forwarded if somebody's moving. So now you got a customer complaint. Hey, I didn't get my package. Right. This is my new address. It should have been forwarded. Not when you send media mail. So if you want to retain that customer, you're going to send it again. So that defeats the purpose of you saving, that 40 or 50 cents on media mail because you're going to have to send another $7 package.
Right. But again, that's why they started up with the other one, with the ground service, where it's a couple bucks more expensive, but it'll get to where it gets, and you can put in whatever you want.
Plus, it'll come back to you.
Right.
That's another thing. Media mail, if somebody's moved or the package gets lost or damaged, whatever, media mail does not get returned to sender because you're not paying for that part of the service.
Right.
So you've lost out on that unit. Right. And I doubt many people are throwing shrink into their budget.
I mean, shrink is negligible. I mean, it's especially on the campaigns. We're talking about $3,000. Shrink is going to be like $100, $200.
Shrink is negligible when you're not paying attention to your budget in the first place.
It's negligible.
I mean, but you got to factor it in, brother. You got to factor it in. People, look, yes, this is a hobby for many people.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to keep the hobby going, you got to do your work. You got to treat it like a business. You do.
But there are negligible costs. That shrink that you're talking about is a negligible cost.
Okay.
I mean, let me ask you a question. How much shrink have you experienced during like on an average, not like your exception, on an average campaign, how much shrink do you experience?
Okay, when you combine tie-ins, right, 2-for-1s, right?
What's a 2-for-1?
You're giving a discount for people buying 2 units for the price of one, right? So you're doing.
That's not shrinkage.
Of course, that's part of your shrinkage.
That's not.
You're not getting shrinkage. Shrinkage goes to margin. That's what shrinkage.
That's a deal that you're offering. That should be worked in already. But that's not shrink. Shrink, in my definition, is theft or loss.
Don't forget damages.
That's a loss. Damages is fine.
Okay.
Okay. So if you want to include damages, loss, and theft, that's shrink.
So all right, under loss, would you put damages, promo copies?
No.
Why not?
Promo copies is advertising.
Okay. Do you have an advertising budget?
Sometimes, on occasion, depends.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I my advertising budget does not include my promo copies. I budget my promo copies under shrink.
That's not shrink though.
See, because I already know right off the bat, whatever my last campaign made, I'm taking 10% of that and utilizing that 10% for marketing or promotion of my next book.
That's a waste of money.
What do you mean it's a waste of fucking money?
That's a waste of fucking money. It's a waste of money.
You mean like laundry? No, not like laundry, bro.
Not like laundry, no. That's a waste of money. I'm gonna tell you why. How long have we been at this? How long have we been at this? Seriously, let's just talk about just doing these shows. Yeah. How long have we been doing this?
A fucking while. These shows?
Yeah, about 4 years now, roughly.
I linked up with you guys with the debacle time, right?
Right. 2000, something like that, right? All right. So 2020, you know. All right. So in that time, how many campaigns have you done?
20, 18.
So in that time, you spent, let's say 20. Do the math easy. You spent 3,000. Let's say you've made roughly 3,000 per campaign, roughly.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
$6,000 you've spent on advertising, right?
So 300 each.
Right. That's $6,000
times 20, $6,000 total. Yeah.
$6,000 total. Right. Flush down the toilet completely because you haven't gotten any real ROI on any of that. Because how much have you grown customer wise?
Right.
Have you seen?
All right. So
have you gone from 100 customers to 200 customers in that time?
No, I haven't.
Exactly. So you flushed
based on that? No, based on that, no. But I mean, would you consider? No, it would be an expense, right? Your email. Would you consider your emails, your email hosting, your backer kit, promo as part of your advertising or part of your expenses?
Backer kit, when it comes down to the list, that's advertising. What was the other one?
The email host.
The email host, we're using a new one.
Okay.
I think that's a free service. So the only one we pay for is backer kit.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, what's up?
So those go under your expenses.
No, that would be more. It's all expenses, but that would be an advertising expense. Yeah.
All right. I want to welcome everybody who's joining us. Draw and Talk, Ray, Rob, Lorraine, Daphne, Glenda. Thank you all for chiming in. I appreciate it. Thank you for everybody who's watching us on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Instagram. I appreciate the time you're spending with us. I know it's Friday night and you'd rather be watching the Thunderbolts, but you're hanging out here with us for a little bit. So thanks for that time. If you are commenting,
me too. Pull that one up.
Jay talking business stresses me out. Guess what? Joke's on you, bro, because it stresses me out too.
There you go.
Have you seen Sinners? Bro, I haven't seen Sinners. I've seen a ton of clips, which make me the whole movie. And,
Rob, ask that question with his wife while watching.
You know that's gonna trigger a few people who are in the chat right now, brother. You put me in the hot seat, Rob. Rob, you put me in the hot seat, baby.
Some of us know the truth. That's all I'm saying.
Whatchamacallit. But yes, it's all right. Let's go. Let's get away from the business again. All right. Let's go back to
why we're having so much fun.
Oh yeah, we're having a ton of fun. But we had also a ton of fun trying to identify the ages, right? During the black and white boom. Right. You were talking about the Elemental stuff was just before the black and white boom, right? And Elementals was coming out full color. Elementals, the stuff coming out with Kamiko, Pacific,
Kamiko, First, Eclipse, and there were others. There were others like Now Comics. There were other smaller ones. And then what happened was the Turtles came out,
right?
And it's just much cheaper to print black and white comics. Right? It's just it's just a one color process. And you had at that time a lot of printers just dedicated to printing black and white. So they were just one color presses.
They're running it for like what, 50 cents a unit, something like that.
I think when I did Dreamweavers, it was 48 pages with a cardstock cover. I think those were like 60 cents each. Maybe they were 70 cents each because I did
them for
3,000.
3,000.
And they were foil stamped.
Yes, 2 people because others had plans.
Tom, good luck at this show, brother.
Have a good time, man. I hope you make money out there. Jay already busted you. Jay already got busted on the other show. Stop playing. Thank you, Lord. See, I got somebody on my side. I got somebody on my side right now.
Well, she's saying you already been busted, so it's just like, why lie now?
Some of us are working. I don't know. I saw you hanging out. I saw you having burgers. I saw you toss back a couple drinks. Come on, kid. We're working too. We're promoting Calderon's 1,000 backer campaign coming out, right?
Well, it's 953. It's at 94,000. So there you
go. And then okay. Elementals was sex? Had sex? No.
Yeah. What happened was towards the end of the run, Bill Willingham had sold the property.
Oh.
And he had done an issue where I guess 2 of the characters were going to have sex in it, but it was supposed to be part of the story.
Okay.
And then the guy who took over the company and bought the Elementals, he was like, "No, we'll make a sex special." That's what they did.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Andrew Rev, the guy who he also owns Youngblood.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So I guess he's able to just buy whatever he wants to buy.
The dude has money, and they say he's crazy and very difficult to deal with.
So they said sold to him.
Huh?
Why would they have sold to him?
Who? For money.
Rev talks to me about it all the time. Oh, I guess Rob and Rev are cool with each other. All right. Yeah. All right. They sold for money. Okay. So I guess they sold
my understanding is Rev was Rob Liefeld's partner.
Okay.
When he was doing was it Awesome Comics?
Okay. Yeah. When he left the Image stuff.
Right. So and I guess he helped him bankroll.
Okay.
A lot of that stuff because he was paying Alan Moore a lot of money. He was paying the artist a lot of money. So
they are eccentric, right? Because they can spend frivolously, right? Right. All right. So you had that. Now during the black and white boom, we can identify Turtles, Cerebus,
Well, Cerebus was from before, but it definitely benefited from it. But you got a
Yeah.
bunch of them. You had Hepcats. You had there was Charles Vest was doing something like something Saga, something. Bone came out around that time.
I thought Bone came out. No, Bone came out
Yeah,
later.
Bone came out a little bit later, but it
Yeah.
did catch some of that, some of the swagger more from Cerebus, because Cerebus he did Bone as a backup in the book in
Okay,
Cerebus.
okay, I didn't know that. I remember picking up like the early teens for Bone in the 90s, like 92, 93.
Mm-hmm.
So I was right out of high school with that stuff.
Right.
Um,
Flaming Carrot would be another one.
Flaming Carrot. So would the R. Crumb stuff be during that, or would it be during the fanzine stuff?
That's during the 70s, bro. That's the yeah, no, that's not fanzine. That was underground.
It was on. There we go. So would it be the fanzine era? Would it be the underground era?
What, Crumb?
Yeah, the 70s.
Crumb is underground.
Crumb is definitely underground.
Crumb is definitely underground. Just like Fabulous Furry Freak Brothers.
Okay.
I mean, there's tons of stuff, man. I mean, but a lot of that stuff, stuff you see at Fantagraphics now, that's the underground stuff.
All right, Rob brings up something nice with Concrete. I remember Concrete being part of Dark Horse.
It is. Yeah.
All right. So when it comes to Dark Horse was definitely out before Image. Dark Horse was the 80s.
Yep.
Right? So would they have been
probably the only one that made it? They were the true Dark Horse. They made it. Yeah. They were the true Dark Horse.
Did they make it because they were picking up licenses like Aliens and Predator?
That happened eventually. I'm sure that I guarantee it didn't help. I think what really did it for them is that Mike Richardson is a really good businessman, and he kept his head on his shoulders the entire time, and whatever core principles he was running his business by, he stuck with. And Jay is frozen. Okay, I don't know what's going on with that guy. He had the same issue last week. It was terrible. Just kept freezing up just like this. Look at him. Scott Rosenberg of Malibu. There you go. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Malibu is another one. What the hell? Dude, reboot. Jesus Christ. Refresh your screen. His internet sucks. I don't even know where he's going with this. But anyway, folks. Look, and now he's gone. He's gone completely. Look at this. I left me here by myself. I got to talk on my own. So go look, the Oswald Chronicles coming back very soon to Kickstarter. Currently on Indiegogo, and it's not doing any business there. But that's kind of what I expected. Okay, here he is. Oh, did you have fun? Did you reboot?
Once it starts getting fucking hot in New York, Wi-Fi starts shitting in the bed for me, dude. Really fucking does, bro.
Look at this.
I saw you go black, and I'm like, God damn it, it's my fucking Wi-Fi.
Look at this. Rob is telling you to hack into the Panera Bread Wi-Fi.
Dude, there's no Panera around here, man. Oh my God, wherever you get new wave jazz, you probably get good Wi-Fi, right? Starbucks, Panera, I'd kill for that. But yeah, Scott Rosenberg with Malibu. So that's one more thing. I remember Malibu coming out also during that Image time, right? So we got that 91, 92 era. You had
then it was like
Aircell.
What's up? The Aircell was another company. It was a whole shitload of comics.
Right? You had Event, right? Before the Marvel Knights, Quesada and Palmiotti came out with Event Comics where they did the Ash, the Painkiller Jane stuff. I believe another title came out.
That was after Image, though.
That the whole deal with that, right?
What?
That Quesada wanted like some fucking big time deal to go with Image, and they laughed in his face.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, that's why the Bodega, the Bodega, they still in the Wi-Fi too, Rob.
There you go. You got to invite Randy.
We want to talk about comics history. I should have, Randy. You're always welcome, brother. North Star.
Yep, North Star. There was Tim Vigil. That's Faust.
Okay.
Yep. Oh. It's too adult for you. You wouldn't get it. And he froze again. Oh, God, look at this guy. Yeah, I think he really needs to move next to Panera Bread. He really did freeze again. Damn it.
And then I know, this is gonna be a fucking night, bro. This is night, but we're gonna wrap this up early tonight because it's only you and me. We've been running about an hour now.
Pull it up. Pull it up, though.
All right, here we go. There you go. Get better Wi-Fi. Stealing it. Yes, Rob. I'm gonna have to do that, brother. I'm gonna have to do that. All right. Friday I watch. Thank you, Michael. Thank you for joining us on Friday night. But we got a short one tonight. But before we get out of here, I want to show everybody this that we've been talking about. I want to show the Tenchi Muyo book that is kicking fucking ass right now.
Yeah,
all right.
I mean, we were a little surprised.
Yeah.
He said, "There you go. Steal the." Daphne said, "You steal the Wi-Fi from Bucky."
I'll take it. I'll take it in a second, Daph. I'll take it in a second. All right, here we go. So we got Tenchi, $94,000, 953 people, 16 days to go, a little bit more than 2 weeks. You're definitely, I think you're going to cross the 100 grand mark, bro.
Oh yeah. I'm pretty sure that.
All right, we played the video last time. And we had Tom asking what makes this an omnibus, but whatever. Obviously that doesn't matter when they're going to spend about 100 grand on the campaign.
Right. It's 100. It's going to be about 186 pages, maybe a little bit more.
Okay. Nice.
So, and it has the 6 issues. It has all,
and black and white.
Yep, it's in black and white. It's all 6 of these.
Are they thinking about coloring it or no?
Oh, we don't know yet. That's not for this version. This version has been promised in the original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was the cartoon was full color or no?
Of course.
Okay. I don't remember it.
I've never seen it black and white except from like the 20s, 30s.
Oh shit! My shipping rates were off because this is not a single issue. Okay.
Right. Yeah. This is a trade. Well, it's a trade or not hardcover. So.
All right. Well, if it's under 16 ounces, you're looking at about $7 plus 7 and change.
Right.
East Coast to East Coast, and about maybe 9 and change if it's under 16 ounces, East Coast to West Coast.
But you also have to factor in packaging materials.
Yep.
The box is $1.
Yep. The perishable
bubble wrap. The whole nine. So.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
It's not cheap.
Definitely not. Here we go. Omnibus is a fake word anyway. Ooh, okay. Yeah.
All the words are made up at some point.
I wonder if the Muyaverse girls count as monsters. What do you say? Yeah. Okay. All right. Here we go. All right. Yeah. So, bro, you're killing it, man. You guys are fucking killing it. I guess that's something you have now over the missus. She hasn't done $100,000 campaign, has she?
What are you talking about? She's part of the campaign. She lettered the book.
Oh, so I will shut my mouth.
What are you talking about?
Here I am thinking you finally got to win. You got to win against her, right? Because she's kicking it with what, $12,000, $15,000 campaigns.
Yeah, but it's that's like winning against the wife is. Am I? How am I winning?
Bro.
You can keep broing me. I mean,
we're married, right?
Yeah,
we're married. We already know that we're at the bottom of the totem pole, right? So we any little bit to climb up. Just hey, we take that.
I understand. You have self-esteem issues. I get it. It's okay. It's all right. I support you.
What do you mean, Dev? You're killing it, bro. You're killing it out there. I want to hit the numbers you hit. Happy wife, happy life. Damn right, brother. Damn right. Listen, I joke about this a lot. I'm always playing this tongue in cheek, but 100% I am. But I got lucky. That I have a wife who's very supportive, and is always hitting these cons with me. and she's always somebody that I can bounce ideas off of. She's always somebody also that can rein me in when it comes to things like that. Do you operate the same way with the missus? Does she end up, every once in a while tampering your aspirations? Be like, listen, let's be a little bit more realistic with stuff like this. Slow it down, or are you the one who's normally grounded? Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Good. I'm glad. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So that was a co-production. So to your answer,
no. Hold on a second. Hold on. There we go. Put that one up. Put that up there, buddy.
There we go. That's Silver Mane from Tall Tales.
Uh-huh.
That's our what I like to refer to as an in-action figure.
In-action figure.
Well, he doesn't do much action.
Look at that. You got 7 points of articulation. You got the neck, the waist.
He moves his waist. So yeah, his head moves.
Yeah.
The
arms, the legs.
No, the legs don't move.
The legs don't move.
It's 4 points of articulation. So it's the head, the 2 arms, and the waist. Okay. Looks great, mad cool.
Yeah.
But very expensive.
Yeah.
It was cool. It was great. He looks fantastic. But I didn't get talked out of this one. But listen, man. I mean, once in a while, you just got to do it.
Once in a while, they're right. Here we go. We got the wives will throw the husbands every a bone every once in a while. Yeah, they will, man. Yeah, they will. And we're lucky to have them. If you got to dip out while I try to catch if you got to dip out, I will try to catch you next week. I really enjoy these Friday shows. Thank you, Michael. I enjoy you joining us, brother. Right? And the missus is so supportive. I shouldn't have put this comment up. Why do you got to remind everybody, Lorraine? You were a favorite here. You were a favorite. Come on.
This is already new. She's good.
I didn't watch Sinners yet. I didn't watch it. This is all the clips that come up on the reels. Put the whole movie together.
Mm-hmm.
The good thing I didn't watch the Thunderbolts, man. You guys would have been blowing me up. They would have. They call it. He saw a movie without you. He saw another one. But yeah, brother.
Isn't that tomorrow?
What?
You're gonna see the Thunder. You said you were gonna see the Thunderbolts early. That's what you told me earlier.
I have not seen the Thunderbolts yet, dude. I check in with the missus when I go to bed at night. Be like, listen, baby, I'm going to bed. It's 7:30, because that way the movie is at 8, and I can. Because that way, I get a full 8 hours of sleep.
Right. But you told me you were gonna go catch an early showing. You're gonna dip out of work early, and then you were gonna go catch an early showing. Right.
You want me to get blown up, don't you?
Dude, I'm just listen, man. I mean, right? You're right, though. You're right. Private conversations in the back room should always stay back there.
Right. She knows how to do my tech support shit. You see, I'm struggling right now with Wi-Fi when she's not around. I'll keep suffering, bro. Don't do this to me. I got campaigns I can promote later on in the year.
Listen, man. Well, there's no reason not to take the missus to go see the movie. That's all I'm saying.
I'm gonna take her. Okay. We're gonna see. I'm not gonna see Thunderbolts without her. Don't worry about it.
All right.
Don't worry about it. Right, here we go. Luckily, I don't go to the movies anymore, so it's not an issue most of the time. Okay. Sinners was dope. I know. I mean, oh man, I can't wait to see Sinners, Rob. Yeah. There's a MiFi in the living room. I don't know what a MiFi is, babe. I don't know what a MiFi is. If I knew what it looks like, I'd probably use it. But I want to thank everybody who's joined us tonight. Thank you for watching on YouTube. Thank you for watching on Facebook. Thank you for watching on Instagram. Appreciate the time you've given us. I know, again, you want to be out there watching Thunderbolts or Sinners right now, but you're spending that time with us, so I appreciate that. And please check out the Tenchi Muyo campaign going on for another 16 days.
Yeah.
Help my man here cross that 100 grand mark. All right. That's huge. That's huge for any independent publication, right?
Of course. I mean, look, man. I mean, in the end, it's about having fun. Trying to get the word out there, and that's all we're doing with that.
Good shit.
And don't forget, Sunday night, I'll be back with that guy.
This guy. Sunday night.
And with an actual crew of people. So
we're an actual crew. This is great. This was great, bro. Just you and me, nice and tight, an hour only. I get to go to bed early. I get to take a nice little shower before I go to bed, freshen up, go nice and cool.
Okay.
I love this. I love this.
All right. Fair enough.
All right.
We'll be back.
But yes, Sunday night, catch me with this guy and the group of people that he got shown up over on Indie Comics Explained.
Yeah.
And we'll talk, about a few more things and have a few more laughs. So thanks again for joining us, everybody. Have a good night. Later.
Latest.